Alright, what's up you guys? Time for another video. Yeah, once again I see on the TV news, Pittsburgh area, the mayor of Pittsburgh, I've been seeing on the TV news about this, and he approves it and all that. Kids, and it's being done I think all over the place too. Kids walking out of school so they can go and gather in the streets with signs to demand action being taken on climate change. And I outlined two different scenarios. I don't want to say to bash them, it's like other people would say that you right up front that it's just all a big show. Well, some of it is, you know. I think you get some kids that are doing it because the other kids are doing it. Yes, that happens. Then you get the teenage, especially when you hear these 15, 16-year-old girls being a lead speaker and different things like that. A lot of girls doing it. And of course you got the teenage boys and dudes, whether they have general belief or in it at all, or they just pretending, whether they have any sincere belief or not. They could be joining the bandwagon just thinking it could get them laid. Yes, that's true, but I'm not saying that's all it is. I made comments like that on the news. And I think, unlike other people's YouTube videos or anybody else, you can say that, but I don't believe in saying anything just as a video, just to bash people without outlining the opposite the scenario. You know what I mean? Say what you want to do is say this scenario, and then to make it fair, and say if it's to the extreme of this scenario, but what if this too, to make it fair. And yes, there is legitimate. Well, if you want to look at your history, there's climate change. It's been happening for thousands of years during your days of those people, Romans and Persians fighting each other, Greeks fighting, and everything else. You know, the pre-medieval and medieval, during medieval times and post-medieval Renaissance, and up till America was first founded. Without all the stuff that we've been able to do with heavy machinery and oil and the development of large nuclear weapons and everything like that. If you want to look in history, there's climate change has been happening anyway. Yes, I do believe that, but yet it does not mean that I don't want to say we're causing climate change. There's a part of it, yeah, if you want to see on TV and examine that fairly, that certain things released in the air. Well, there's now that they're saying that released in nature anyway. But yes, the world was changing way back. You know, there were things that became deserts, and then all of a sudden there's not enough rain and it gets evaporated. The world changed, and the world, I think, is even could be tipping over in different kind of ways. And so yes, but what I'm bigger on, it's not so much they're causing climate change like people were saying, to not bash anybody. The truth I want to tell you is too, because, okay, I went on a boat trip to Lake Erie with family members on occasion, and I wanted to take the girlfriend one day. We do that one day, the boat tour. What I'm biggest on too is you know, it's a double-edged sword. We need natural gas and different things so we don't freeze to death now, but there was times when there was a lot of industry going on. I saw on the History Channel, you can look it up, before gasoline engine car was invented. My jaw dropped. I thought I knew it all. They used to dump gasoline in all the rivers until they found a gasoline engine. Yeah, they invented gasoline engine. Everybody's crying that, yeah, the gasoline engine cars, the emissions, and they want to do something about the emissions. Well, the bright side to inventing the fucking gasoline engine, right, was at least they weren't dumping gasoline in the rivers anymore. Gasoline used to be garbage, but people were still dumping shit in the rivers. And matter of fact, you know, I want to throw in the parenthesis too about movies. You ever see when I was a kid, I liked some of the old movies. Empire of the Ants, which they should do a remake with the special effects now. That was trying to send you a message. I think one of those old movies. And the movie Frogs, I think they put parts of it on YouTube still now. That, for a fact, I think was created in Florida, if you want to look it up. That the people that created that movie were trying to send an environmental message. And the bad guy, the guy who played the real asshole in that movie, was a guy that didn't give a damn. He liked to do trophy hunting and all that. I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, the guy's voice sounded just like, I have to look it back up myself, the guy that played kind of an asshole in the first Battlestar Galactica movie. He played that guy in council that was kind of on crooked or corrupt side, you know, and all that stuff. You know, I want to go on and on too much about Battlestar Galactica, but yeah, I could actually go on about that. But I think that was the guy that he played the asshole in the movie Frogs. And the Godzilla movies when I was a kid. Remember those? There was the one, Godzilla versus the SMOG monster. The end credits of that movie, find a solution, stop pollution, save the earth, save the... I think they were trying to send a message, you know. But anyway, yeah, I boat trip to Lake Erie. But there used to be a factory, a paper mill there. They were dumping the stuff in the water, thought it would just disappear, and literally the water actually turned black. The guy who was on the boat that was talking about stuff, the tour guy or boat person, was telling us that, yes, that's something you got to pay attention to. And people used to dump a lot of shit in the rivers. We used to literally dump our shit right in the rivers until we realized that the shit is washing up. And like I told some guy before too, we were talking about it, it's not why, okay, let's not get over domesticated here. If you want to be over domesticated and offended the way I say this too, and still think you're going to be an environmentalist, a young kid, and be oh, I'm not, that's gross, don't say that. This has to be said. Pay attention to this. Pay attention when I say this. This is a good metaphor, and I don't want to say don't go on your street, eat in public doing this. Don't be a drunken bum and do this. But I'm saying this is a metaphor because I once worked in a place that was garbage and recycling, and I was told that when the sewer plants did, they take what you call sludge, take the turds and they take it away to the landfill before they dumped it in the river. So believe this when I tell you, don't be grossed out, it's a good metaphor. Say you get in, take your town or your borough, say 100 people in the town or the whole population of the town, say they all go in a parking lot and take a shit in the same place. Say 10 people take a shit right in this place, right? You know, you're going to get a pile. Say 100 people take a shit right in the middle of this field, you're going to get a... Say the whole population of maybe a small town or a city takes a shit all in the same place. That is a lot of shit. So people got to find out what the hell they're going to do with all their shit. So you're punning in a weird way, but yet we're also saying it's a big problem. What the hell are we going to do with all this shit? You know, it's because it's a lot of shit. And what actually disappointed me too, I work recycling. I believed in it to a point where it's kind of a problem. You know, the malls, you got these 4-story malls. You're seeing in these YouTube videos, these 4-story malls closing down. Nobody's buying in malls and everybody buying online. And in the earlier times, I used to work recycling and garbage. A lot of cardboard. I thought I was doing a good thing. Plastic bottles being baled, cardboard being baled and sent recycled. I seen on our news, well, with the talk in parentheses here, I think we had this problem before that Trump trade agreement going on. But Trump doing these tariffs. It came into light even more now, though, too, because all our blocks of plastic bottles and cardboard were being sent to these other countries to be processed. We're selling to. They're retaliating now by saying all this cardboard bales and all these plastic bales that I kind of disappoints me. They want to send it all back. They want to give it to us all back. And the recycling thing, it's people are getting swamped with it, and they're trying to find ways to actually turn up a profit for it. So some people are sneaking and throwing it away to landfill. And now we're seeing on our TV news that a lot of our public recycling, that you have the recycling bins, they're not accepting glass, that you're not even allowed to throw glass in there anymore. And so they got to find a way to do all this glass. But anyway, the bales of cardboard was a thing I didn't want to say because, like, they're pounding out more cardboard through packaging. Everybody ordering online, you're pounding out more fucking cardboard than they're recycling. So when they're trying to recycle it and catch up, they're not fucking catching up. And you got in parentheses, they're trying to ban plastic bottles now, and things get in the water. That's another story. But The cardboard alone, I've been seeing there now that everybody ordering shit online and all that. And you could even talk in parentheses talking about all the clothing and Goodwill. Everybody's pounding out manufacturing new clothes and products. Like when I was in college, when I took Intro to Business it counted as an elective. Our Intro to Business instructor was talking about in our textbooks too. Products and services is why people have jobs. So they got to find a way to create jobs. There's this green jobs thing, but yeah, in creating these jobs, there's waste products somewhere. But they're pounding out more cardboard faster than they can recycle it. I mean, for every 100 bales of cardboard they send away to be processed, recycled, we're pounding out way more than that new stuff that's being put back into. It almost looks like it's hopeless to a point. You know what I mean? You're not going to see the end of that until whatever religious belief you want to believe, whether it was a rapture or whatever you want to believe about the end of the world. Because we all have a limited lifespan anyway, so to speak. Anyway, but does not mean. When I seen that I put a little video clip separately on YouTube about this dude. Not to force a religion down anybody's throat, but a video called "The Road to Armageddon," and there was this I don't know, what is he, a philosophy teacher or this professor? He was talking about the dogma of materialism. Since I brought that up anyway about you die someday, this guy was saying an interesting thing where. About some narrow-minded people, and he was telling you if you have a seething mind, you don't want to die and go into seething places. And he's saying that can be how you go to hell. Well, and he was saying about how some of these people, they get rich by doing this or that, where lumber tycoons, he's indicating, he says, well, I'm not going to be here anyway. I'm going to die someday. I might as well go use it up. Who cares? And to be fair, you don't want to have that kind of attitude, either, because eventually, what if you're still alive and that bites you in the face? And there's things that we got to watch. Bigger population, and then you throw everything in the water. Guess what? You think you're gonna keep having water to drink somewhere? It's gonna be polluted by something. And and I seen it talk in parentheses too. One of my favorite video games that people hated, as far as gamers sometimes hate it, but I like this video game. I'm one of the people that it's become a cult following for because it sends a lot of messages. The Alone in the Dark game with EDWARD CARNBY battling zombies in Central Park. What I see about the video games, the apocalyptic thing, your character had to find a way to get past or across these oil slicks that are actually possessed by demons. You get sucked into that oil slick, and then anybody gets sucked in, it turns into a zombie. So them zombies, your character is fighting. And EDWARD CARNBY, waking up to this morning was a fucking mistake. And all of that stuff going on. And my God, who the hell am I? I'm 100 years old. But that video game is kind of sending a message, you battling these zombies. And so the creator of that video game was kind of trying to send a message, And then, you had him saying, the zombie was telling him, join me, no more fear, no more pain, you only have to die. And he said, my favorite, this tough guy slogan almost beats out Arnold Schwarzenegger's tough guy slogans, He goes, the zombie goes, join me, no more fear, no more pain, you only have to die. And he goes, you're quite a negotiator. But then the zombie also says, too, that I taste your fear, so many questions. And another tough guy slogan, it's better than, he might have topped Schwarzenegger, EDWARD CARNBY topped Schwarzenegger on this. So you're the answer man, shithead? Who are you anyway? Yeah, just love that. Anyway, it's like full of possibilities, you know what I mean? You don't want to discount anything. And there's the bandwagon thing, the environmentalism thing, but yes, you can take it seriously too, Like I said, everybody that takes a shit in the same place, that's a lot of shit, you know?